the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Whoa, 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 ahoy, whoa, whoa, whoa. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and teddy pants less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the two and then we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we lay down our bets. No serious analysis, no expert critique, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. Sideline jokes and post-match tales, all the big goofs and epic fails. We're not so serious and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Wasted world of sports, here's to more cheers. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.
Wasted Water Sports crew, ahoy! This is going to start freaking you guys out, right? I keep going live just a little bit early. There was still 50 seconds left. Anyway, Game of Mel, ahoy there. I figure it's only like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Why not? We may as well jump on and go live. Very nice to have you all here once again as Wasted Water Sports, bringing you all the action of the NRL. My Cronulla Sharks taking on the Canberra Raiders. The Sharks trying to keep their top four aspirations alive. And the Raiders, well, their season is done, but plenty of pride to play for. And of course, one of the big storylines to come out of today is you'll notice that there is no big red. I wonder why that is. Walshy, SZN, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Johnny Michael, ahoy. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us here for the early game. A game with very little on the line, so it's hard to get excited about them, isn't it? Games like this where, I mean, pride's on the line for the Raiders, and pride cannot be underestimated, by the way. For a professional sports team, pride certainly cannot be underestimated. So the Raiders will be taking this seriously. Like I said, this is a cynical outlook, but do the Sharks really want to finish top four? If 1 and 2 is out of the equation, which it probably is now after their loss to the Dragons, do they really want to finish top four? I'm not suggesting for 1 second that anybody's going to go throwing games. I just don't think they'll necessarily care if they lose this one. I think the path to the finals is much better for the Sharks, finishing 5th and getting a home final. Matthew West, ahoy, mate. Game of Mel, you had to choose from watching the game or the stream. How come? Can't do both? What's that old meme? Huh? What's that meme of why not both? The little girl in bloody Mexico or Spain or wherever it is. God, that's old school, isn't it? You know what? I should stop making references to pop culture because all I'm doing is showing my age. User 56 says top four better though, as only teams in the top four have won the comp, which is true, but I don't see the point of, look, the Sharks probably aren't winning the comp anyway, in fairness. For the Sharks, I just think the best path, their best chance to win the comp, regardless of that history of only teams from the top four have won it. Forget that history for a moment. I just think the best path for the Sharks, we know they're not going to beat the Roosters. We know they're not going to beat the Panthers. So what's the point of that week one waste of time and energy in the finals? You know what I mean? I know, I'm being very, very cynical, I know. And a professional sports team, I've talked about it before, professional sports team would not even remotely be thinking that way. But I just feel like Sharks would be better off finishing 5th, getting a home final. They're going to be exerting that energy anyway in a losing effort in week one. If they finish top four, they may as well try and go the long way around. Coco Fatty Cho says score prediction. Well, I would love to say that the Sharks win 50-0. But the Raiders just have a way of testing the Sharks. Look, I'm a Sharks fan, so take it for what it's worth, but I would anticipate the Sharks to win quite comfortably, especially at home. What is comfortable? I'd be happy with something like 26, 30 points to 18 or thereabouts. I mean, if they put in a huge defensive effort and keep the Raiders to 0, that'd be fantastic. Yes, Walshy, Warriors versus the Broncos later tonight. Looking forward to that one. Steve Humphreys, ahoy, mate. Go the Sharkies. Boo to the Raider, Michaela. Yeah, boo, Michaela. Boo. Let's go Sharkies. Oatley, ahoy, mate. Oatley Tolan. Kickoff moments away. The Sharks versus the Raiders. Looks like the Sharks will be kicking off. Tarpany's down in the in goal. Oatley Tolan, Waz, Broncos. Waz, up the Waz. Kickoff in this one. Cronulla get us underway. The Raiders will get first use of it. Let's get this one going. Jeez. Matty takes the first hit up. I got to get my screens all ready here. Jeez, that crept up on me. See, this is what happens when I'm slightly early to a stream. It throws everything out of whack. There we go. Hosking takes it up the middle. And now Tarpany. Almost to the 40-meter line here for the Raiders on play 4. NZ Grizzly Rascal says Raiders for the win. 10 short of halfway here on the 5th and last. Brayley's up quickly to put pressure on the Colonel. Sanders gets the kick away straight down the throat of Mulatalo at the back. Or is that Katoa? My apologies. Oh, Michaela just joined the chat. Boo, Raiders, boo. That one's for you, Steve. Mulatalo. Just getting people in trouble. That one's all on you, Steve. And we've got a whistle. Somebody down in back play, are they? An early HIA. Morgan Smithies. Oh, no. Smithies was just slow to get up. Keep an eye out. It could be a very early HIA here going against the Raiders. 10 short from halfway. The Sharks. Brayley out of dummy half. Gives the short ball. And McInnes will play it on halfway. 5th and last. Hines puts the kick downfield. Weeks comes across for it. And he takes a 10 out from his own line. Nice kick return to the 20. Michaela says, up the Raiders. I knew you were going to do that. Oh, penalty to the Sharks. Obstructing the kick chase and an early opportunity for points. Well, there we go. Hines puts the kick down to the 10-meter line and obstructing the kick chase. The Raiders have formed a wall there. A wall of defenders in front of Kyo Weeks with their backs to the kick chase. And this is an early 2 points here for the Sharks as Nico Hines steps up. They're going to take the points. Sharks about to have an early lead. About 15 in from touch. Over on this right side. So, yes, hope everybody's doing well. We've got 3 big games today. Sharks versus Raiders, of course, kicking us off. Bad Guy 41 says, let's go Sharks. We've got the Eels taking on the Cowboys, which is just the little, I don't know, that's just the little cool-down match before the main event of the evening today. Broncos at Suncorp against the Warriors. That should be a cracker because, I mean, let's be honest about the Broncos. They've had injuries all season long. They're still going to be missing Adam Reynolds tonight. As Nico starts by just getting this one inside the posts. If we remember last week when he had the record on the line and that first kick, he shanked it off to the left. He did exactly the same thing here today, but it just stays inside that left upright. And the Sharks lead early 2 points to 0. And there is Morgan Smithies heading off for the HIA. So that's an early blow for the Raiders. So, yeah, all I'm saying about the Broncos is don't let this season's form affect how you think they might go tonight. Now that they've got some troops back. Yes, they're going to be down Adam Reynolds, but I think they'll put up an effort. Warriors still to win, though. Morgan Smithies off the field for HIA early. And that will disrupt the Raiders forward pack regardless. And now there's no kicking tee out. Come on, ball kids, pick up your act. I understand it's a volunteer role, but doesn't mean you have to do it badly. All right, I'm being very harsh. Weeks with the restart. 4 minutes into this, and it's 2 points to 0. Bengal Power says Madge can do whatever he likes this year. He won them a premiership last year. Even win them the spoon? Don't know that the Broncos board will accept that, even with the injury toll. If they end up getting the spoon, there might be some questions asked in that scenario. As McInnes stays down here, high tackle and a penalty to the Sharks. So discipline is an issue early here for the Raiders. 2 points to 0, 4.5 gone, and the Sharks with another little piggyback upfield. Lucas, I honestly think some questions will be asked if the Broncos get the wooden spoon. I realize there's not a whole lot of difference between finishing last and second last. But if they don't win the remainder of their games and sort of jump up the ladder a little bit, obviously they can't make finals anymore. I think, look, the Broncos are a proud, successful club. That's straight through. Goes Kafusi. Weeks stands his ground and puts his body on the line, brings the big man down. 10 meters out from the line. Hines attacks. And he's taken down by Owen Paddy. Nice one-on-one tackle. The Sharks, though, on a roll early. Brayley sends it left. Trindle puts the grubber kick in. It sits up in the end goal. Try time for Tricky Trindle. The Sharks get the first try of the game now. Braden Trindle, welcome back. Oh, geez, and he's limping a little bit. Again, that leg, we saw him limp last week against the Dragons pretty early on. He's not walking 100% on that leg. The clean line break from Oregon Kafusi, filling in for Fanua Blake. And Trindle catching Kyle Weeks out of position. Too far in field. Puts the grubber kick in. And it sits up in the end goal. He had the pace just to get there. And that is a fantastic start for the Sharks here. 6-0 kick to come. Mr. Ed, ahoy mate. Matty Colkin, can the Wallabies beat Japan today? Yeah, oh no, Trindle's off the field. Oh no. Braden Trindle has scored the first try, but seems to have succumbed to that niggle and has left the field. The trainer holding his arms up. Oh dear. 10 meters in from touch now, Nico with the conversion attempt, but this is huge news. Braden Trindle has scored the try and immediately left the field, up the tunnel with the trainer. That's the Sharks season right there. Hines 10 in from touch. This one's a better strike. And it holds its line. Conversion successful. Sharks up early in this one. 8 points to 0. So Trindle putting the grubber kick through. Dives on the loose ball. Oh no. And it's a shoulder. So when he's dived with his arms out in front of him, and he's landed, and he's popped the shoulder or something. We'll see if we get any updates there on Braden Trindle, because that is massive, obviously, for the Sharks' chances. I was going to say, Matty Colkin, you would bloody well hope so, wouldn't you? I know they were pushed to the absolute limit in the first test, but with a run under their belt and knowing a bit more about what to expect, I don't think there'll be an Eddie Jones ambush in the return bout. I think the Wallabies should win quite comfortably. Kafusi, 10 short of the halfway mark. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, dislocated shoulder is all it was for Braden Trindle. He'll be all good. Fifth and last now for the Sharks. Hines on halfway. Puts the kick down for Weeks. And it sits up here for the Sharks as Weeks can't contain it. Batted back by Ethan Strange. Savage has it. 10 out from his own line. So there you go. It was just a dislocation. He'll be back. Set restart here for the Raiders. They bring it out to the 30-metre line. Braden Trindle, the only try scorer so far. Yes, there he is on the sideline. The shoulder popped back into place, and he's all good to go. Fantastic news there for the Sharks, as Tapani now taken down in a dominant tackle on halfway. 3 gone here for the Raiders as Mariota into Sharks territory. Owen Paddy out of dummy half. Goes straight up the middle. Half a gap. Closes quickly. Kafusi makes the tackle. 5th and last. Sanders puts the high ball up. Lands it on the Sharks. Oh, he's overcooked it. I was going to say he lands it on the Sharks goal line. No, the Breeze picked it up. And Katoa catches it in goal for a 7 tackle set. The Colonel just overcooking it. Mulatalo gets a late offload. Back for Brayley. Sends it left for Puru. And Hohepa Puru on the field temporarily for Braden Trindle. He kind of looks a little bit like a Braden Trindle mini-me. Short side. Puru, dummies. Carries it inside the 40 here for the Sharks. Staying down the short side. Hines with the double pump for Wilton. 20 metres out now on play 4. Lined up to the right here, the Sharks. Big open side. And Hines keeping it in tight here in midfield. Jesse Colquhoun. 5th and last. Luna, ahoy there, mates. A kick back down the short side, looking for Mulatalo. Was that off the Raiders? Backwards off the Sharks, says the referee. And a penalty to Canberra. Was it the old disruptor has resurfaced for the second time this week? Hobbit, ahoy mate, rum and tab, loving the NRL pub in Flaxmere. Too hot, ahoy mate, nice to see you again. He, him, 98, let's go Raiders. As off the back of that penalty, Raiders up to the 40-metre mark, their own side of halfway. Rowdy Piper. Back into Sharks territory. Mariota for the Colonel is Weeks. Cut out pass. Hits Savage on the chest. And he's got pace. Mountains of pace. And Xavier Savage will cruise around under the posts. Mulatalo caught a little too far infield. And the Raiders hit back just like that. Xavier Savage, too much pace. Beautiful ball, hits the money. Catching the Sharks short down that right side. Here it is, Mariota for Sanders. Kyo Weeks sums it up perfectly. Mulatalo giving Savage way too much freedom down that right sideline. And the Raiders hit back. Dear, oh dear, why do I not have Savage in my multi? I went, geez, I don't even have Jed Stuart. I've got the centres. Way too much space allowed there for Xavier Savage. $8 to 4, kick to come from right in front. It'll be 2 points for Sanders. This is working towards my multi anyway. The 2 points from Sanders right in front to make it 8 to 6. Bengal Power says if he was in my multi, he would have knocked on. True. Very true. Very true. Sanders converts. It's 8 to 6. I jumped it a little bit and gave him the points because it was right in front. Very true, Bengal Power. Yes. Players in the multi have a tendency to, well, suck, don't they? So, nice hit back from the Raiders. That was kind of out of nowhere. Nothing was doing there. Just giving Savage too much pace, too much space with the speed that he has. Sharks get us back underway. And the kickoff is deep into the right corner, and tracking across for it is the try scorer, Savage. Almost letting the ball bounce. That would have been disastrous. Tarpany to the 20. 8 points to 6. The Sharks lead. So tries for Braden Trindle and Xavier Savage got one back for the Raiders. Hosking. Another 10 meters. Keeping it up the middle channel here. Tarpany for Sanders. Goes short. Another set restart. This was late in the count. Play 4. And the Sharks' discipline has gone out the window. Paddy sends it down the right side. Weeks turns it back for Tamale. He keeps it alive for Weeks. He gets away from the one-on-one tackle of Hero. But Mulatalo firmly planted on the sideline on this occasion, not allowing these Raiders speedsters any more space than they need. Strange sends it out to the left for Timoko. Timoko tries to get on the outside of Hiroti. Hiroti sticks with him. Tackle 4, 35 meters out. Tarpany offloads back for Paddy, and the Colonel takes the settler up the middle. 30 meters out, right in front of the post here on play 4. Strange heads off to the right. Nice short ball for Nicholson. 5th and last on the 20-meter line. Sanders kicks back down the short side, looking for Savage. Lands at about 10 out from the Sharks line. Savage bats it back. Owen Paddy's got it. It's been knocked down here by the Sharks. 6 more tackles, Raiders. Oh, a disaster for the Sharks. Weeks slips out of the tackle of Puru. He beats McInnes. And he's taken down 20 meters out. A full set of 6 here for the Raiders. Oh, this game went to hell in a handbasket very quickly for the Sharks. And now Nico Hines penalised for a tip tackle. And we could be all locked up. It's right out in front. Do they want the gift 2 points? They might tap and go here, the Raiders. They might keep the pressure on. It's a gift 2 points if they want it. They tap and go. They want the lead. Mariotta, 10 meters out. Stands in a 4-man tackle. Hard to bring the big man down. Tarpany heads out to the left. Gets the arms free, but nobody to pass to. Paddy out of dummy half. Paddy goes on his own. Owen Paddy scores. Owen Paddy has a little snipe out of dummy half. Oh, it's gone up as no try. The referee sends it up as no try. Oh, he's a good player, Owen Paddy. Jason Callaway, ahoy, mate. Chris Bradley, ahoy. Robert M., our statsman in the back. Trindle left of the field for a dislocated shoulder. So this has gone up as no try. Owen Paddy ducks under the tackle of Kennedy and Puru. Nickera comes across. This is a try. That is a try. Owen Paddy has scored. I'm not in the bunker, but I'm awarding this. I'm not working in the bunker, but I'm giving this one a try for the Raiders. They lead 10 points to 8. Kick to come. Kakamo, ahoy, mates. Doing very well, thank you. Try time Raiders. They've gone back to back, and they lead this one 10 points to 8. Dear, oh dear, the Sharks leading 8 points to 0. Dislocated shoulder, mate. The hamstring niggle he suffered against St. George last week and carried it into the game. Not the reason that he left the field. It might be the reason that he's still off the field, but it's not the reason he left. Sanders converts from right beside the post. And it's 12 points to 8 in favor of the Raiders. The Sharks got themselves the 8 points to lead, 8 points to no lead, and then went to sleep. Discipline out the window. Dear, oh dear. Those were a couple of easy tries for the Raiders. They didn't have to work hard for them at all. Brayley gets us back underway. The kickoff drops in at the 10-meter line. And it's Mariota. 2 more games today, Jason Callaway. Yes, mate. We've got a little bit of a come down with the Eels versus the Cowboys. And then the main event of the evening, Broncos versus Warriors. Set restart for the Raiders. Dear, oh dear. The Sharks' discipline non-existent at the moment. Hosking, 10 short of halfway. That's tackle 2. Roddy to the halfway mark. Paddy goes right for Mariota. Sanders can't get the quick pass away. It's a big tackle from Brayley. Tackle 4. Just inside the Sharks' territory. Here's Tarpany. Straight up the middle. 5th and last here for the Raiders. Sanders puts the high ball up, looking for Savage. Not a lot of distance on it. The Sharks might stand back and allow this one to go. And it's dived on by Caolero on the deck. The Sharks will get the handover from the Savage knock on. Vector Collector, ahoy mate. Watching from the US. Going very well, thank you. Not the only one who's joining us from the United States of America. All right, Sharks. Can they Brayley. What's the word I'm looking for? Can they settle back into the rhythm that they started this game with? The Sharks have a tendency to do this, right? They have a tendency to get themselves on top in games early and then maybe mentally drop off and think that it's going to be too easy. As Jed Stuart takes the Hines kick on the 20. And he brings it back into midfield. Chris Bradley says, this may mean nothing, but I've noticed that Klein is the ref for those big do-or-die games that have had an effect on the outcome. Yes, I wonder why that is, huh? The conspiracy theorists amongst us will have a field day with that one. As the Raiders now go up to halfway. Quick hands now. 3-on-2 out to the left, but Strange can't get out there. The Sharks defense jams up in V formation and makes sure that he can't get the ball out. 5th and last. Sanders from halfway puts a high float and bomb up. Kennedy forward for it. Takes it on the 20. Oh, the ball dipped on him and he had to extend the arms out. But he just holds on. Jason Zeno. Ahoy, mate. Watching from PNG. Very nice. To the PNG Chiefs. 10 short of halfway now, the Sharks. Jim Dark. Ahoy, mate. Brayley down the short side for Colhoun. Sharkies on halfway. Carmelich. Ahoy. As Hines puts the kick downfield. Savage drops back for it. Takes it on the 20. And surrenders in the kick chase of Teague Wilton. 12 points to 8. The Raiders lead. Don't get tricked. Ahoy, mate. Tamale stands in the tackle. 19 minutes to go in this opening half, and the Raiders on top at the moment. Sanders kicks from inside the 40, deflects off a Shark. Kennedy picks it up, 10 short of halfway, and cops a high tackle from Rowdy Roddy Piper, who was flying through. Could that be the momentum swing back the way of the Sharks? Sanders kicking early. It deflects off a Shark, sits up on the 40 for Kennedy. And yeah, the arm just slips up there from Joe Roddy. Nothing too much in it, but contact with the ball first, and the arm slipped up over the head. Slow play of the ball here for the Sharks. 40 meters out. 6 again. Hero to the 30. Mookie, ahoy, mate. Don't get tricked, says, I swear if I lose another 4K because of the Sharks, I'll quit. Colhoun brings it up to the 20-meter line. The Sharks, their first opportunity in a long while. Hines drops it off for Nikra. And into the red zone they go. Tackle 3, 15 meters out. Brayley heads across field. Hines straightens for Wilton on the crash ball. 10 meters out just to the left of the posts. Brayley looks short side. That's where they go. Hines, short ball for Ero. Ero breaks the tackle of Savage. But Tamale was still holding on. Just a meter out now on the 5th and last. Hines stays short side for some ungodly reason. Pops it back to Wilton. Stabs it into the end goal. And then Roddy taps it dead with nobody chasing. This is the most bizarre sequence of play I think I've ever heard. They're going to have a look at something in the bunker. Sutton sends it up as no try. There might have been a Shark taken out in the kick chase. There might be a Sharky taken out in the kick chase. Sutton wants to have a look. I can't believe what I've just seen, though. Terrible 5th tackle option. Ends up with Teague Wilton, the second rower, doing the kick. Joe Roddy's got nobody chasing through on him, and he bats it dead for some reason. So Teague Wilton has been taken out after the kick. What we're looking at here. Ethan Sanders has committed to the tackle, though. Wilton's already been tackled as he gets the kick away. This would be a very harsh call against the Raiders. Sanders has already made contact with Wilton before he puts the kick in. So, I mean, surely this is not a penalty. Joe Roddy gets back and swats it dead. It's going to be a penalty here to the Sharks. There you go. Adam G in the bunker says, penalty Sharks. Teague Wilton tackled after making the kick. Penalty Sharks. Look, Sanders clearly made contact before the kick was put in. So, rough call. Penalty Sharks here. 5 meters out over on the left edge. Brayley taps. Hines sends it infield. Sharkies. 10 meters out. Burns plays it. Hines, short ball for Kafusi. Kafusi crashes through. And he's taken down just centimeters short of the line. Brayley goes left. Hines, short ball for Wilton. Standing start, so easy defended. A meter out from the line. Burns at first receiver. The short ball for Kafusi. Gets the late offload back for Burns. A floater over the top. Goes over the head of Katoa and into touch. And they have found a way to cock this one up. Billy Burns floats it over the top of everybody and into touch. And, yeah, trust the Sharks to find a way to balls it up. Dear, oh dear. 16 and a half to go in this opening half. It's been great work by the Raiders. 12 out of 12 completion rate, 100%. I think they're... Oh! They almost coughed the ball up there. Right on cue for the commentator's curse, almost. Paddy out of dummy half. The OG, Sir Twibble. And here I thought only my Tigers tossed those passes. Mariota brings it up to the 30-meter line. Tarpany, fifth and last, 10 short of halfway. Sanders puts the high ball up from inside the 40, all the way down to the Sharks 20 for Kennedy to take it on the full. Kennedy gets the bumpers up in midfield. Hines into dummy half. Katoa with the carry. Heading a little sideways. Peter Buddy, ahoy mate. As Mulatalo now bursts through. Mulatalo offloads for Ero. One-on-one with Savage. Savage brings him down. They're in the Raiders half. Front football now for the Sharks. Hazelton. 40 meters out in midfield. Slow play the ball. Brayley goes right for Trindle. Hines, rather. That was me thinking. I was thinking to myself, God, we need Trindle back on the field. Fifth and last, Hines puts the kick up. Kennedy chasing through. And it's taken well by Jed Stuart. Nice take. 10 out from his own line. Weeks. A settler in midfield. 14 and a half to go in the opening half. The Raiders leading 12 points to 8. Nicholson stands in a three-man tackle. Paddy sends it back infield for Tarpany. Tarpany, the ball spills out the back. Still there for the Raiders, though. Fifth and last, only 22 meters off that set. Big defensive effort. And the kick down for Kennedy. He'll bring it back to the Sharks' 40-meter line on the kick return. There's Braden Trindle in the jacket. He's still got the jersey on, so he may be back at some point. A couple of things happened with Trindle. Dislocated shoulder. Do you come back straight into the game off a dislocated shoulder? And he's still nursing that hamstring niggle as well. But he left the field. He left the field with the shoulder. Dislocated shoulder. Hines puts the high ball up. Contestable kick. Everyone lets it bounce, though. And it's back for Brayley, who offloads for Owen Paddy. Wow. That just sums it up, really, for the Sharks at the moment. Brayley, one of their best players, throws it straight to a Raider. Do you not look up and see bloody green? Do you not look up and see the green jersey and think, I'll throw it to him anyway? Oh, gee, Sir Twibble. Cheers for the gift. As Paddy now up to halfway, offloads for Sanders. The double pump over the top for Hosking. He gets it onto Timoko. And Katoa jams in and shuts that down. Fifth and last on halfway. Sanders puts the high ball up. Kennedy will take it easily on his 20. Throws a huge pass over to the left for Mulatalo. And Mulatalo's in space again. Oh, Ronaldo with another good kick return. 12 minutes until the break. Jim Dark says used to see the original Tricky Trindle at Sunday school at the Beresford Hotel, Surrey Hills. The Sharks starting to get some front football. Burns offloads. Knocked down by Roddy. 6 more tackles. Colquhoun. Oh, was he lifted there by Hosking? The home crowd wants it. The home crowd gets it. A tip tackle and a penalty 35 meters out right in front. Sharks tap and go. Hazelton to the 20-meter line. Can they hit back? 11 to go until the break. Hines for Burns. He goes short there for Puru. 10 meters out. Really missing Braden Trindle. Brayley darts across field. Hines now gets tangled up with Nickera. Well, you don't see miscommunication between those two all that often. Brayley out of dummy half for Burns. Gets the offload back for Brayley. And now Hazelton from a standing start for Kennedy. Kennedy steps back in field. 5 meters out in front of the posts. Hines. Cut out pass all the way out to Katoa on the right, but Jed Stuart races up and shuts that down. 5th and last. Hines, a low flat kick across the face of the post. Batted back for Puru. Kennedy wrapping around. Gives it out to Iro. Iro goes in and away on Xavier Savage and plants it down in the corner, but he's in touch. Xavier Savage with a try-saving tackle. Dear, oh dear. Banana, tricky, dislocated his shoulder in the act of scoring a try. Scored the first try of the match and dislocated his shoulder. A nice stutter step there on Xavier Savage, but the foot just goes into touch. KF2 Shiesty. Ahoy, mate. Jim Dark, you only want the Sharks to win for Lynn Burke. Hey, whatever the reason, they're making it difficult on themselves. Sharks were playing really, really well in the opening 10 minutes. Good luck, 8607 says, do you think Billy will go and coach the Storm? I thought so. I thought the timing is just suspicious. But apparently he's already himself ruled that out. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it won't happen. But he himself has said that no, that's not the reason. And it won't be happening. As Hosking takes it up to the 30-meter line. The Raiders, 12 points to 8, approaching halftime. Yeah, well, I think that might be more likely, Lucas. He joins the coaching staff with the intent of eventually taking over. As Stewart's in space down the left. Puts the kick in field. Oh, straight into the chest of Kennedy. Well positioned there, Will Kennedy. Takes it on his own 20 and saves the day. Katoa drifting across field. Wrapped up by Roddy and Big Papa. Slow play the ball here for the Sharks. Wilton on for Mulatalo. Standing in the centres in attack, Mulatalo. Interesting. And Iro coughs the ball up. The Raiders come away with it. Oh, knock on. Double knock on, one-on-one steal by the Raiders. So they get the ball. 9 minutes until the break. The Raiders will go on the attack 30 meters out. And once again, it just goes to show like how crucial Braden Trindle is to this Sharks team. He's left the field when the Sharks were up 8-0 and on a roll. He leaves the field, hasn't come back, and the Sharks have been an absolute rabble ever since. The Raiders dominating. Short side from the scrum. And Tamale takes it into the 30. Can the Raiders strike again here before the break? Dane Laurie goes short there for Roddy. And Roddy Piper 20 meters out in midfield. Hohepa Puru came onto the field for Trindle. Banana. Big Papa goes straight up the middle. He's brought down 10 meters out. Paddy for Sanders. Turns it inside for Nicholson, I believe it is there. A meter out from the line. Sanders as they attack left here. Strange floats it over the top for Stuart. Says That's how you do it. And the try is scored by Jed Stuart, who also isn't in my multi. Ethan Strange says, I'll show you Sharkies how it's done, because the Sharks tried this twice down the other end of the field. Twice the Sharks tried this exact play, and they couldn't execute. Ethan Strange says, look at this, boys. That's how you do it. 16 points to 8, the kick to come. This is domination. Oh, the Sharks, so reliant on Braden Trindle. They raced out to an 8-0 lead. Braden Trindle scored the try, dislocated his shoulder. We haven't seen him since, and it's been one-way traffic with the Raiders dominating. Well, I did say this a few weeks ago. I said a few weeks ago that if Braden Trindle gets injured, that's season for the Sharks. Gosh. Philip West says Raiders doing something strange for a little piece of change. Ethan Sanders with the conversion attempt. Jed Stewart running around closer to the post for him. Ten meters in from touch. Sanders puts it down the middle. Oh, yes, he does. The breeze picked it up and it started to bend very quickly. But Sanders converts. So that's his 6 points. There's our first tick off the multi. First tick off the multi. Sanders, 6+ points. Six minutes until the halftime break. 18 points to 8 after the Sharks raced out to an 8-0 lead. It's amazing how often we see that, though. Teams raced out to a lead, and then the opposition goes on an even bigger run. Max, ahoy, mate. Hope Trindle is good. He was looking good to get 5/8 of the year. Tricky was in immaculate form. So there's a couple of things going on with Trindle at the moment. So he picked up a hamstring niggle against the Dragons last week. He played on for the entire match. He dislocated his shoulder in the act of scoring a try here today. And also, he did have a little bit of a limp on that same leg. So it seems like he might have just tweaked that hammy again. Fifth and last here for the Raiders. The kick sits up for Kennedy on the 20. Kennedy able to return it to the 40-meter line. 10 short of halfway here. 5 minutes to go until halftime. Can the Sharks get something back out of this match? Wilton up to the Raiders 40. 3 tackles gone. Colquhoun for Hines, out to the right, and Hiroti sweeps straight through, steps back in field. And he heads into traffic up the middle. Didn't go for Katoa on the outside. Brayley back in field for Burns. Now Colquhoun with Hines, turns it back inside for Puru, and Hohepa Puru taken down half a meter out. Fifth and last. Brayley goes the crash ball for Wilton, and Teague Wilton answers for the Sharks. Teague Wilton on the crash ball down the left edge. 18 points to 12, kick to come. Four minutes until the break. Crucial hit back there from the Sharks. Nice one. I thought Hiroti had butchered this when he cut back in field. But they got there in the end anyway, the Sharks. Wrong person scored, says Gamer Mel. Who do you still need, Gamer Mel? Try confirmed. And it's 18 points to 12 going into the halftime break. Boy, that was a much-needed try for the Sharks. After racing out to that 8-point lead, they've been on the back foot ever since. Nico with the conversion attempt. Just in from the sideline over on that left edge. 10 meters in from touch. Hines starts it out to the right. It curls back down the middle. That's a beauty of a kick. 18 points to 14. And a much-needed hit back for the Sharks. 3 minutes to go until the break. You need Iro or Mulatalo. And Hines to convert one more. Yep, I need Hines 2 more. So we go into halftime, 1 tick down. And on the way for a second tick. So not too bad, not too bad. Hazelton, it would have been nice to have had a try scorer, though. Considering that I've got 6 options for try scorers, it would have been nice to have had 1. Old Panther, ahoy. With the Eels versus Cowboys next, has the chat commented at all on the Cowboys opening a leagues club in the Logan area? Didn't even know it was happening. There you go. But yeah, nobody's mentioned that. I wonder what the idea is behind that. Just creeping into Brisbane's catchment area, I suppose. Hines takes the 5th and last here. 40 out. Brayley stabs it in over the top for some reason, and it sits up for weeks. An easy kick return there to the 20-meter line. Not too sure what that was all about. 2 minutes to go until the halftime break. Maybe a more contestable kick, I would have thought, but what do I know? A kick on tackle 2 here from the Raiders. And Will Kennedy will get this trudging back to the goal line. Kennedy gives the ball to Mulatalo. He steps back inside Tamale. Takes on Dane Laurie. And this is crazy. The Sharks now shift into midfield. Katoa up to the 30-meter line. Hazelton runs over the top of Owen Paddy, but Hoskins there to make the tackle. Burns out the back for Hines. Gets trapped up in behind Colquhoun and has to surrender in the tackle. Inside the final minute. 2 tackles left here for the Sharks. Iro cops a high shot. Penalty, Sharks. They'll finish the set with the ball. And, well, the Raiders, they kicked early and gave the Sharks the ball back, presented them this opportunity. 20 meters out, they find touch. They'll get a couple of tackles here. Oh, and a lifting tackle on Jesse Colquhoun in midfield. They put him down safely, though. 20 seconds to go. Hazelton crashes up the middle. This should be it now. The last play of the half. Brayley, cut out pass left for Hines. Kennedy up in the line. And he's wrapped up by Savage. Nicely done, Xavier Savage. Oh, they might get the ball in, the Sharks. They do. Burns back into midfield for Hines. Numbers out to the right. Nickera dummies. Floats it over the top for Katoa. And Katoa bumps off the tackle. Weeks rips the ball away. Hines goes back into midfield. It's loose out the back. Mulatalo pops the ball free for Kennedy. Kennedy for Wilton. Iro down the left edge. Has to come back in field. Now Kennedy. Back for Mulatalo. He grubbers in behind. Sets up for Puru. Basketball over the pass for Nikora. Nikora. He gives it off to Hines. Hines throws it in behind. Hazelton's got it now 30 metres back. Hazelton gives it to Kennedy. Pops it over the top for Hiroti. Katoa goes again. Grubbers back in field. And Sanders bats it dead. Oh, the Sharks. The Sharks should have scored about 10 different times during that sequence. And they come away with nothing. Great scrambling by the Raiders. Terrible play from the Sharks. We go into halftime. 18 points to 14. Oh, boy. Do the Sharks know how to balls up a try or what? $18 points to 14 at the break. Oh, what a last play that was. High fives all around here for the Raiders. 18 points to 14. So we go into halftime with one tick down. All right. So South's Logan is obviously a feeder club for the Broncos. And the Cowboys have been granted permission to open at Homeview alongside the shopping centre. So, yeah, cheeky Cowboys, eh? Cheeky Cowboys setting up a little base inside Broncos territory. If that's not a signal of war, I don't know what is. Carl, thank you very much for the heart me, mate. Much appreciated. That is hilarious. So, can I ask a question, Old Panther? When you say Cowboys have been granted permission, just out of curiosity, who grants that permission? Who do they have to get permission from in order to do that? Just out of curiosity. Michaela, cheers for the heart me. Much appreciate that. Kakamoa says, we know kids down there don't want to play for the Broncos. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It used to be. It used to be, of course. And we know this. I'm not telling you anything new. But it used to be the Broncos were pretty much the only team that you could play for. Like, if you were a Queenslander and you wanted to represent Queensland at club level, unless you played in the lower leagues, Broncos was all you had back in the day, right? Now there's so many opportunities, so many different opportunities. You've got the Dolphins now. You've got the Cowboys. You've got the Titans. There's talks of another Queensland team coming into it. For a while, I'm not even joking, for a while there, Melbourne Storm were essentially another Queensland team. Like, that was a little bit of a joke. It was a little bit of a running joke, but it was true at the same time, because they played in the Queensland Rugby League, the Melbourne Juniors. It was their feeder system, the Norths Devils, at one point. So, yeah, there's options now. Kakamoa says we need another New Zealand team. I don't understand that. I really don't. Serious question. I'm not taking the piss at all. A legitimate question that I have for the people that want another New Zealand team. The Warriors are now just starting to do so well, so consistently. Why dilute that is my question. Wouldn't you much rather keep the Wars intact and go on a bit of a Panthers-like dynasty? Robert M. says we need a team out of Rockhampton or Gladstone. Controversial opinion right here. Controversial opinion. I think there needs to be less teams, not more. I think that the NRL should take a serious look at Super Rugby and the downfall of Super Rugby that is still in recovery mode from overexpansion. There we go. Old Panther says Cowboys have applied, but the Logan Council is opposing. I'll have words with them. I'll pop up to the chambers later on and have words with them. And they'll be like, hang on, aren't you that bloke that like never votes and never does anything? Why do you care about this? I was like, I just want to mess with the Broncos, mate. That's all. If it's messing with the Broncos, I'm there. Robert M says, why are they taking the Origin to New Zealand next year? It should be between New South Wales and Queensland. Yeah, well, I think, look, for me, I don't live in New Zealand, so I can't really speak for New Zealand. But I still feel like that whole COVID period, I feel like I feel like New Zealand deserves something big in return for what the Warriors and New Zealand Rugby League put themselves through during that COVID period. I don't know that they've received anything for it yet. So an Origin game, look, there'll be plenty of expats that are keen on seeing the game, I'm sure. Steve Humphreys says some of us don't like the Warriors or North Island. Give us a South Island team. No, I understand that, Steve Humphreys. The North Island, South Island is a bit like Queensland versus New South Wales, right? I still remember the rugby union, the North versus South clashes that they used to have as warm-ups to All Black selection. For some reason, it didn't really kick on, but Sir Twerble says, what do I think of the remastered Jonah Lomu challenge game? Think it'll be a cracker. I didn't know that they were. That's fantastic. You know what? Jonah Lomu Rugby on the PS1 is still one of my all-time favorite rugby games. It was just, I don't know, it was very arcadey, but it was so good. I used to love just give it to Lomu and spam the L1 and L2 buttons. I think it was L1 and L2 to do the fend, and you would just spam that button. Give it to Lomu, and you could pretty much just run the entire length of the field doing the left arm fend. He digs away there like a demented mole. I can't do the accent, but yeah, some fantastic commentary as well. Michaela says, trust my partner to say that. I don't go for Wars either. I go for the Raiders. Yes, actually, I've got to say, I was stunned. Like, I don't get an opportunity all that often to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't get, oh, hang on. Wasn't it, hey, Sir Twerble, wasn't there a comeback to that commentary line of like, that nearly, yeah, okay, I see you put it there. I couldn't see the rest of that comment. I hope not, Bill, that's a maternity ward. Anyway, sorry, distracted. What was I on about? Oh, yes, see, I don't get the opportunity all that often to hear you guys speak or see you guys. And you get a picture in your mind, I suppose. You just assume things, I suppose, is what I'm saying. You make some assumptions. And, yeah, I guess I just always thought, because Michaela is such a Raiders supporter, and I don't recall ever, because it's probably never happened, but I don't recall ever on a Waz stream, Michaela saying up the Waz. So I was stunned, actually, to find out that Michaela's over there in New Zealand. When I jumped on, I was passing through the TikTok feed. Matty Colkin over there. I've joined his live streams a couple of times as well. Robin M is has submitted a video before, a couple of seasons ago, I think it was. So I've seen him. UFC's done a video. I've seen him. But yeah. But anyways, hopefully I see a few of you from the Sydney region coming up in October at the Concourse Bar. Date yet to be determined. We'll be having a Wasted World of Sports party. So keep an eye out for that. Sydney Ciders or thereabouts for the Concourse Bar in October. It'll be party time. And I'll get to meet some of you and put some names to faces or faces to names. Such. Steve Humphreys, you'd think about leaving being a Dogs fan since '91 if Christchurch got a team. Sir Twerble says I'll rock up with a portable TV, PS1, and Jonah Lomu rugby. You know what? Funnily enough, I still own the game as well. I've still got it somewhere. I don't have a PS1 though. That's the problem. Your average Jim says, you mentioned before about expansion. NRL needs to stop trying to please everyone. Being able to play for countries you weren't born in, to playing for a state you weren't born in, making the boys fly. Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with. I don't necessarily have a problem with expanding the eligibility rules. Like, if you grew up somewhere, I know not firsthand personally, but I know from friends and everything that are in the situation that you can have an allegiance to a different state and a different international team. Like, if you're born somewhere, but you grow up somewhere else that makes you eligible for them, you can have split ties. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's the expansion of the teams that bothers me. That's what really bothers me. I mean, we've seen what happened to Super Rugby. When it was the Super 12s was the peak club/franchise competition in the world. You can disagree with me if you want, and a lot of rugby league fans will disagree with me, but Super Rugby at one point was destroying the ARL/NRL. And then they overexpanded. They expanded so much that they had to go to a conference system, and it literally killed Super Rugby. Super Rugby is still in recovery mode to this day. It's getting better, but it's still in recovery mode to this day. And that's what overexpansion too quickly can do. I do not ever want to see a situation where rugby league is in a NRL. I'd never want to see a situation where NRL is in a conference system. Never. I never want to see it to the point where it's a Queensland conference, New South Wales conference, rest of Australia conference, or something like that. No, never expand so much that the NRL needs a conference system. Anyway, quickly before the second half starts, Robert M, question, can we get former players or a former ref to come on and we do a Q&A with them such as Lockyer, for example. Funnily enough, I've talked about that. I've talked about that a lot, but it's hard to do, obviously. Hard to organise. Because I have to try and find out who organises all that stuff on their behalf, like who's their media representative. We'd have to organise time, and yeah, I would love to do it, but it would be very difficult to pull off, I should imagine. But yes, Robert M., I would absolutely love to do that. MG, Mark Geyer, Sam Thaiday would be a fun one. Second half underway. The Raiders get us started. And the Sharks, who finished that second half with a bit of momentum at their back. Yeah, I'm sure I could reach out to the clubs and see if I could organise it through the club themselves. Yeah. It is something that I'm interested in. Seth Abrowski, ahoy, mate. Been a Storm fan since 2019. And your favourite player is Ryan Pappenhausen. As straight up the middle now go the Sharks. Tackle 4 just inside the Raiders' territory. Hazelton. He's made an impact since he came on. Fifth and last, 35 metres out. Hines puts the high ball up. Chasing through is Mulatalo to put pressure on Weeks. He does well to take it, Kyle Weeks. Old Panther played in high school. Does that count? I played in high school too. I played in high school rugby league, rugby union, and baseball. Does that count? Hosking, 10 short of halfway. Fifth and last now for the Raiders. 32 metres off that set. The kick from Sanders from inside the 40. Puts it high down the middle of the field. And it's taken by Mulatalo. Tamale brings him down 10 short of halfway. All right, so we still need 3 ticks for try scorers. Oh, Sir Twerble. I was an absolute gun first baseman. I was first base and cleanup hitter. 40 metres out in midfield. Brayley goes for Hines on the right. Numbers here for the Sharks. Katoa in space down the right edge. Desperation tackle. Roddy gets around the ankles. Fifth and last. Hines stays down the short side. Gives it to Nickera. Nickera pops it back for Brayley. Hines goes again. Grubbers him behind the line. He's been taken out after the kick. No whistle from the referee. This was a more blatant tackled without the ball than the Teague Wilton one in the first half. And it's a 7-tackle set here for the Raiders. I can't believe that. This was more blatant taken out after the kick than Teague Wilton in the first half. The first half is a penalty. See, this is what frustrates people. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think either one of them should have been a penalty. I'm not saying either one should have been a penalty, but I'm saying one was in the first half. One is suddenly not in the second. Hosking sends it out to the left now for Timoko. Timoko's shown the sideline and nearly dragged across. N8T, ahoy mates. Love the stream. Shout outs to Mata Raiders as we won our grand final today against a tough Pacific Sharks team. As intercept now from Wilton. Gets his hands on the ball. Nice one. Well, congratulations on a grand final win. And short of halfway now, the Sharks. Hero brings it back up over halfway. Hazelton in midfield. 40 metres out now from the Raiders line. Hines heads off down the right edge. Gets the ball to Nickera. Flicks it back for Brayley. Kennedy back in midfield. 30 metres out. Fifth and last now for the Sharks. They stay short side. Hines kicks it over the top. Katoa to contest. Oh, Katoa's been bumped off the ball. No call from the referee. Raiders have it with Jed Stuart a metre out from his own line. Sutton has put the whistle in the pocket to start the second half. Wow. Sutton has put the whistle away. "20 metres out from their own line. The Raiders doing it tough at the moment. That's tackle 4. Strange. For Weeks as they head out to the left. That's the fifth and last. 35 metres out. Strange goes on a dart up to the 40-metre line. Puts the kick downfield. It's allowed to bounce by the Sharks. Danger here. The Raiders have it back. It's still fifth and last. They get the second kick in over the top. Oh, that's shocking from the Sharks. Shocking. You don't let the high ball bounce. They're now in a terrible field position. That is just atrocious. All right, I might be a little bit rough, but I might be a little bit harsh. But boy, that was terrible. 3 Sharks players all stand around and watch the ball bounce. And now they find themselves, rather than starting the set on the 40-metre line, they're doing the hard yakka coming out of the 20-metre zone. Brayley slips. Gets the offload back for Hines. And Hazelton now. Good carry up to the 40-metre line there. Dizzy the egg. Hazelton. Now they're back where they should have started the set, but they're on play 4 and they cough it up. Raiders ball on halfway. Oh, this is a stinker of a performance again from the Sharks. Back-to-back weeks. Oh, there's going to be a penalty. Is there a sweet reprieve? Oh, no, Papalihi's going on report. Big Papa on report for a high tackle. But it will be Raiders ball on halfway. Scrum down here for the Raiders. 7 gone in the second half. No change to the scoreline. And really, no change to how badly the Sharks are playing. It was for an earlier incident, Lucas. Lucas has asked, how can you be on report, but your team still gets the ball? It was from an earlier incident that was missed. So it was too far back to go back for the penalty. One-on-one steal here from Burns, but he knocks it on, and the Raiders will get the scrum and another set of 6. And the Sharks continue to just shoot themselves in the foot here. 40 metres out from the line. Sanders goes short for Big Papa. Strange turns it back inside. 30 metres out. Sanders to Strange. And now Weeks delays the ball to Tamale. And Tamale gets crunched by Mulatalo. The hot tamale sauce. That was a hospital ball and a half. 30 metres out midfield. Forward pass there from Sanders to Big Papa. Oh, the stadium erupted there. And the ball has been called forward, Sharks. They'll get it back here. Very forward ball. 9 minutes gone in the second half. No change to the score. Hiro takes the first hit up from the scrum. Sharkies trailing by 4. Here's Wilton up to the 40. Tamale makes the tackle. Holds him up. Oh, thumps him into the turf there. Very rough treatment on Teague Wilton. Billy Burns up the middle. 10 short of halfway. Maori boy, ahoy, mate. Kennedy to the halfway mark. Gives a nice short ball. Well read by the Raiders defense. Burns goes to ground on play 4. Hines. Dummies inside. Dummies outside. Ends up taking the tackle. 40 meters out on the 5th and last. Is that Kennedy stabbing the kick in over the top? It's a shocker. It's an absolute shocker. Oh, Stuart throws it inside for Weeks. Weeks coughs it up and Kennedy scores a gift. Well, is that the turning point of the match? Will Kennedy, with the absolute worst kick on the 5th and last that you will ever see. Jed Stewart throws an infield for Weeks. Weeks knocks the ball on cold. And Kennedy picks it up and scores. Kyo Weeks knocks the ball on, falls on his bum. And Kennedy says, thank you very much. And the Sharks say thank you very much because they weren't scoring any other way. Kennedy gives us a tick off the multi. Unbelievable. A try off the absolute worst 5th tackle kick you will ever see in the history of rugby league. An almighty gift. 18 points all, kick to come from right beside the posts. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what we just saw. Nico Hines to give the Sharks the lead, if you can believe it, from right beside the posts. Puts it down the middle. It would have been something else if he missed that. Conversion successful, and the Sharks somehow lead this game. That is the absolute worst 5th tackle kick you will ever hope to see. But then Kyo Weeks comes up with the biggest blunder you'll ever see in your life. Sharks lead by 2. Unbelievable. Honestly, it's hard to say that they deserve it, but they'll take it. Boy, they just look so clueless without Braden Trindle. He is so important to this team. Anyway, Sofa Talakai's out there, and he takes the carry up to the 20-meter line. Brayley out of dummy half. Dane Laurie was not square. It's a penalty, Sharks. Oh, there's some real emotion in this game now. Push and shove ensues. It's a penalty to the Sharks. Dane Laurie not square at marker. Perth Bears bound. Sofa Talakai. And the Sharks, well, they've been ahead of the momentum. Can they take advantage now? Iro up over the halfway line. 40 meters out now from the Raiders line. Talakai goes short for Hazelton. And Dizzy the Egg, 30 meters out in midfield. Talakai takes it on his own, up to the red zone. Still going Talakai. Finally, he's put down. Tackle 3. Oh, they're on a roll here, the Sharks. Poodle turns it inside for Nikra. 5 meters out. Big open side to the left. Brayley for Hazelton. And Hines in midfield for Kennedy. Left is where they look. Oh, Iro, look up, mate. Mulatalo's unmarked on the outside. And he takes the tackle himself 10 meters out. Hines kicks back down the short side. Mulatalo one-on-one with Savage. Savage bats it dead. Goal line dropout. 20-meter restart, knock on Mulatalo. They'll challenge this, the Sharks, I suspect. No, they're going to accept it. 20-meter... Oh, do you want to challenge? Yes, they do. Okay, they are challenging. Nicho Hynes screaming at Sutton that we wanted to challenge. No touch from Mulatalo. They're claiming. Let's have a look. And it's touched Mulatalo. It's touched Mulatalo. Challenge unsuccessful. Now, Mulatalo surely knows that he's touched that ball. That's a disaster. Why is he screaming at Nicho Hynes to challenge? You know if a ball has touched your hands. I can feel that. I can feel that. Anyway, the Raiders have the ball back, trailing by 2. 10 short of halfway now. Here's Tarpany, straight up the middle. Hazelton brings him down with the help of Nikora. Starling out of dummy half for Laurie. And the ball deflects off Hero. It'll be 6 more tackles, Raiders. Starling drifts back for it. 40 metres out from the Sharks line. It's a set restart. Tarpany, straight up the guts. Looks to offload, but Brayley wraps that ball up. 35 out midfield. Big Papa on for Sanders. Strange. They're up quickly on him, but he bumps away from Hiroti. 30 metres out over on that left edge. 4 tackles left. Sanders shows it inside once. Gives it to Laurie. Hasn't Dane Laurie been strong these past few weeks? Sanders to the 20. Out the back for Strange. Flat ball. Hits the chest of Nicholson. And he almost gets through. 20 metres out. Starling out of dummy half. Brayley's got him wrapped up, but he offloads to Weeks. Weeks puts the grubber kick through. It sits back up for him. And it's off a Shark for 6 more tackles. Oh, they must score here, the Raiders. Overlap out to the left. They went too early. Jet Stuart has to cut back in field. And he's forced back to the 20-metre line. Out of dummy half, Timoko. Down the short side. 5 metres away. Strange at first receiver for Tarpany in midfield. Tarpany ducks under the tackle of Hazelton. Penalty, Raiders. Do they lock us up? Do they lock us up or do they keep the pressure on? Tackled without the ball. Penalty right out in front. 10 metres out, bang in front of the posts. Do they lock us up? No, they tap and go. They want more again. Their season's over. They may as well go for the tries, I suppose. 5 metres out from the line. Starling for Tarpany. Tarpany steps inside Puru. Still going Tarpany. Reaches out and gets the ball down under the post. Puru misses the one-on-one tackle. And the Raiders reclaim the lead. Tarpany scores. Hohepa Puru punches the goalpost in frustration because he missed that one-on-one tackle. That was all him, I'm afraid. I mean, you don't want to blame one single player, but he slips off that one-on-one tackle, and that allowed Tarpany through. Dear, oh dear. That was really, really weak defense. He still had to go through 3 Sharks. Great effort there by Tarpany. Leading from the front, the captain. $22 points to 20. The Raiders reclaim the lead. Oh, it's just hard to believe how terrible the Sharks are without Braden Trindle. So important to attack and defense. Sanders from right in front makes it 24-20 in favor of the Raiders. 22 minutes to go. Raiders up by 4. Yes, next game, Cowboys versus Eels. A little bit of a wind down before the main event. Broncos versus Waz. Sharks get us back underway. The kickoff down into this corner for Papali'i to take the hit up. Well met by Hazelton and Wilton. 10 meters out from their own end. Talakai rocks them back in the tackle. Here's Tapani, the try scorer. 20 meters out in midfield. Stands in the tackle. Papali'i, out the back it goes for Sanders, and now Weeks can't get away from the one-on-one tackle of Hero. 2 left now for the Raiders, sorry. 5th and last, 30 meters out midfield. Only 34 meters off that set. Sanders kicks from inside the 40. Angles it towards the sideline where Kennedy takes it on the full. And a nice kick chase there from Starling and Tapani as Brayley finds some space out of dummy half. 10 short of halfway as he tries to milk the 6 again. He does get the 6 again. Well, milked successfully there. Brayley. Fantastic effort. Rapetti, Pavel. Ahoy, mate. Sharks got me a bad twitch and a few F-bombs. Well, I'm containing the F-bombs. Hines in midfield. Talakai, late offload. Batted back by Burns for Wilton. Wilton slips and makes him an easy target there for Laurie. 40 meters out from the Raiders line. 2 tackles left. Billy Burns with the settler. 5th and last. Hines puts the high ball up. Lands it on the 20-meter line. It's off the back of the head of a Raider and into touch. That's in touch off Canberra. Oh, the Raiders are getting the scrum feed. Not played at, says the referee. Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. Mulatalo makes contact with Savage, a disruptor. Penalty to the Raiders. Sanders puts it into touch. 10 short of halfway. So, the Sharks' discipline is out the window once again in this one. Tamale taps and goes. Weeks at first receiver, on for Tapani. Back into the Sharks half. Johan, a 3-4-4-8-5-8-5-8-6 says go Sharks. Inside ball here for Hosking. 40 meters out from the Sharks line. Play 3. Starling heads off down the left for Strange. Been pretty quiet tonight, Ethan Strange, so that makes me nervous. He could do something at any moment. Mariota takes tackle 5. 25 out from the line. They're going to run here, the Raiders. Now Weeks puts the kick in. Sits it in behind Kennedy. Mulatalo's got it half a meter out from his goal line. Great kick chase from the Raiders, but they're offside. That's why they were up so quickly. Penalty to the Sharks. Up the Raiders all the way, says Michaela. Oh, yeah. Matty Nicholson. Miles offside. Sharks find touch just outside their own 20. 18 minutes left to go in this one. Eero bends the line in midfield. Good carry. Almost up to the 40-meter mark. Slow. Play the ball, this one. 6 again. Brayley out of dummy half. Laurie's offside again. Tackle 1 now for the Sharks, just short of halfway. Talakai. Gets the bumpers up in midfield. Carries it into the Raiders half. He's been solid again, the sofa. Good pickup for the Perth Bears. Hines turns this one inside for Nickera. 40 metres out, halfway through the set. Back into midfield for Talakai again. Short ball for Kafusi. Hines out the back for Kennedy. Kennedy goes short for Nickera in a big gap. And he had Hiroti unmarked on the outside, but he went on his own. Kennedy dummies. Pops a high shot. And he's taken down a metre out from the line. It'll be a handover. Britton Nickera had an unmarked Hiroti on his outside. Did not even look at him. Nickera did not have eyes for any of his support. He was always going on his own. And they have butchered another one, the Sharks. And I'll tell you what, the downfall of Britton Nickera needs to be studied and researched. I don't understand how such a once great player is so terrible all of a sudden. The Raiders' goal line defense survives again, but again the Sharks have messed up an unmarked run to the try line. Fifth and last now for the Raiders. 10 short of halfway. Sanders goes on a run. Floats it over the top for Stuart, who had to reach back for it, and that stalled the momentum. He puts the kick back in field for Hazelton to take it. And Hazelton takes the high ball nicely. The Sharks will start the set here, 35 out from their own line. Mulatalo. 10 short of halfway. Now Katoa. Big defense from the Raiders in midfield. Hero up over halfway. Talakai for Hines. Cut out pass for Nickera on the right. Shows it inside for Katoa. Fifth and last now. 30 metres out. Hines puts the high ball up. Chasing through is Mulatalo. Well, that's another disruptor as Savage runs it dead. Savage runs it dead, and it'll be a goal line dropout unless there's a penalty. That's exactly the same as what happened before. Oh, the only thing consistent is inconsistencies. That's exactly the same as what happened before. There was a penalty against Mulatalo on that occasion, but not this time. The Raiders go long with the restart. It bounces up on halfway. The Sharks take an eternity to pick it up. And Colquhoun, 40 metres out, will start this set. Edgardo Perez, ahoy mate. Good carry here from Kafusi, up to the red zone. Chat room's letting me know that Nico's got his 8 points already. Let's put a tick on that leg of the multi. Talakai angles back up in the middle towards the post. The ball ripped away by Tom Starling one-on-one. And the Sharks have cocked it up again. Oh, they're good at that. The Sharks just continue to find more and more genius ways to screw it up. Roller Coaster Bub, ahoy. And Samantha Rovey, ahoy. Greetings from PNG. The Raiders now find some space up the middle. Daniel Lynch, ahoy mate. Starling out of dummy half. Gives it inside for Mariota. 10 short of halfway on play 4. 13 and a half minutes left to play. Sanders. Dummies. Bumps off Brayley. And he's brought down by Puru in midfield. Fifth and last. Strange takes over the kick in. He puts this one high. Lands it on the 20-metre line for Katoa. And Sione Katoa spotted half a gap, but shut down quickly. The Sharks 30 metres out from their own line. 13 minutes left to play. 4 points the difference. So we are just 2 legs away. This multi that looked like it had no chance going into the halftime break, we're suddenly only 2 legs away. Hero into the Raiders half, 40 metres out. Good carry there by Kale Hero. Put on his back on the fourth. Colquhoun for Hines. Numbers out to the right. Hiroti spins out of the tackle of Stuart. Beats the tackle of Hosking. And he's 30 metres out now, fifth and last. Sharks stay down the short side. Hines puts it in over the top for Katoa and Kennedy to chase. Nicely taken by Kyo Weeks. 5 out from his own line. Oh, Katoa slow to get up after that. He's all right, though. He was just staying out of the way. 12 minutes left to play. The Sharks badly missing Braden Trindle. I did say a few weeks ago, Sharks cannot win the competition without Trindle. And I think today's performance pretty much seals the deal there. Starling catches the markers napping. 6 again for the Raiders. Strange up to halfway. 11.5 minutes left. Straight up the middle goes Mariotta. 40 metres out, he stands in the tackle. Halfway through the set now, the Raiders. Tarpany beats Puru. The offload is battered down by Puru. Backwards, and Teague Wilton picks it up. The Sharks in possession. 10 short of halfway. That was a big let off there for the Sharks. Mulatalo surrenders in the tackle on the halfway line. Slow to get up and play it. Hero now drifts back into midfield. For some reason, decides to take on Mariotta. Kale Hero, a centre, taking on a forward. Hines back inside for Nickera. Angling back inside. 40 metres out. 2 tackles left here for the Sharks. They've done nothing of substance this set. Colquhoun takes the 5th and last. 30 metres out. Hines kicks high, looking for Mulatalo. Lands it on the 10-metre line. And it's lost forward by Wilton. The Raiders come away with it. Nualis, ahoy, mate. Thank you very much for the heart me as the Raiders cough the ball up. Oh, it's knocked on against the Sharks. Knock on against the Sharks, says Sutton. It'll be Canberra's ball. Inside the final 10 minutes. Xavier Savage here. Looks to offload. Oh, geez. That's been knocked back by the Sharks. They have no challenge remaining. They wasted their challenge. And I reckon that they probably would have won that one, ironically enough. So, only themselves to blame, the Sharks. 9.5 left. Raiders ball. Cheers, Nualis, for all the gifts. What do we got? Go Populars 9. Go Popular 5. Cheers, mate. As Nicholson carries it up to the 40-metre line. Raiders leading by 4. Weeks in at first receiver for Roddy. Sanders, dummies, takes them on. Nickera brings him down just short of the halfway line. 5th and last, Strange. Kicks it down the middle. Not a lot of distance on it. Kennedy runs onto it at pace. Kennedy goes straight through. Kennedy's up over halfway. Steps back in field and takes the tackle 25 metres out. 8.5 minutes left to play. Mulatalo for Burns, and now Hines in midfield. Carries it inside the red zone. 8 minutes left. This is the opportunity here for the Sharks. Brayley. 6 again as Burns takes it within 10. Will Kennedy has set up the play. Can they finish it off? Crash ball for Billy Burns. A metre out from the line. Brayley for Hines in front of the post. Drops it off for Kafusi. Kafusi! Half a metre out. Tackle 3. Jesse Colquhoun takes the tackle. Hines for Kennedy. Short ball for Ero. On to Mulatalo. Mulatalo steps back in field. Reaches out over his head. Plants it down. Try for Mulatalo. It's going up as no try. Mulatalo, it's been sent up as no try. And he doesn't seem confident, Mulatalo. He's not smiling at all. So there's an obstruction anyway. Oregon Kaufusi with an obstruction in midfield, so we won't even get to look at the grounding. Though it looks like the bunker's playing on at this point. Mulatalo steps back inside Savage, but it's the tackle from Tamale. Mulatalo now, as he's going to ground, he swivels, reaches out, and plants it down on the line. Mulatalo. Mulatalo, does it touch a piece of white? It does. It catches the line, and Mulatalo has scored. It just has to catch a piece of the white line. Surely it has. Surely he has. Oh, they're supporting the on-field decision of no try. Wow. They are supporting the on-field decision of no try. I mean, I don't know what the bunker's looking at. We can all see that. Unbelievable. This game needs a serious overhaul. This game needs a serious overhaul. We all saw it. We all see the same footage. Anyway, it's Raiders ball. 10 meters out from their own line in front of the posts. 7.5 minutes to go. That was also a leg off my multi. That won't hit. Not yet, anyway. 7.5 to play. The Raiders survive an almighty scare there. Oh, and now Stuart cops a high shot. No call. Dear, oh dear, the referee has been atrocious. Big defense here from the Sharks on Tarpany, driving him back towards the goal line. 15 meters out. Tarpany on play 3. The Raiders seem like they're completely out of gas. They are just not making any meters. Tackle 4. Starling out of dummy half. That's better. Straight up the middle. 10 short of halfway. And he gets the late offload back for Roddy. 5th and last on halfway. And that ends up being a fantastic set of 6. The high ball from Sanders. Kennedy comes forward for it. Takes it on the 20. Kennedy taking the ground. Ero slips. Makes him an easy tackle on the 30-meter line. 6 minutes to go. Katoa tries to get a quick play the ball in. McInnes on for Burns. Floats it out to the left now, and Mulatalo steps back inside Tamale. Offloads for Wilton. Wilton can't get the arms free. Just inside the Raiders' half. Burns for McInnes in midfield. Hines now out the back for Hiroti. Steps inside Stuart. Hiroti up to the 40. 5th and last. Hines puts the high ball up. Mulatalo chasing through on Savage again. Mulatalo takes it, pops it up for Ero. Ero cuts back in field and loses the ball. 6 more tackles for the Sharks. It's a knock-on against the Raiders. Cronulla will get the ball back here. 10 out from the line. Captain's challenge Raiders. Captain's challenge Raiders. Referee Sutton's called it a knock-on. And the Raiders, with the benefit of retaining their challenge, well, that ball has been stripped out by Tamale and towards the Sharks goal line. It'll be Sharks ball. Challenge unsuccessful. It's Cronulla ball. 5 minutes to play. Sharks ball 10 metres out in front of the posts. Let's see. Golden point. Golden point's a possibility here. Scrum down. Sharks come left for Mulatalo. Mulatalo can't get on the outside of Tamale. Nice one-on-one tackle. 10 metres out now. Full set of 6. Ero. Takes it 1 out. 5 metres away. Brayley for McInnes. Loses it behind. Hines picks it up. And they're back to where they started now. Tackle 3. 10 metres out in front of the posts. McInnes short for Kafusi. Kafusi tries to crash over. Stands in the tackle. There's only 2 left here for the Sharks. Hines out the back for Kennedy. Kennedy can't get the arms free. 5th and last. As the ball is stolen away by Sanders, and it's a penalty Sharks. Sanders rips it away after the tackle's been called held. And the Sharks get another full set of 6. Here's Burns in midfield. 2 metres out, just to the right of the posts. Brayley behind, drifting left, turns it inside for Wilton. Wilton, half a metre out. 4 minutes left to go. Brayley, with nobody to pass to, fires it in field for McInnes. And McInnes just has to do the settler just to the side of the posts. Brayley for Hines, who wasn't ready for it. He wasn't watching. Colhoun takes the tackle. 5 metres out from the line on play 4. They've offered nothing at the moment, Sharks. Kennedy swooping around the back. Floats it over the top for Katoa. Katoa can't get away from Stuart. And Hiroti thumped in the tackle by Hosking. 5th and last, and they've lost ground. Hines puts the crossfield kick in. Lands at 5 out from the line. Mulatalo bats it back for Wilton. Wilton offloads for the Raiders. 6 more tackles here for the Sharks, surely. Kale Ero steps back in field and takes the tackle. 5 out. It is 6 more. And a double knock on, says the referee. Scrum for the Sharks. 3 minutes left to play. How many more opportunities do the Sharks need? Scrum down Cronulla, 10 metres out. Here we go. From the scrum, Hines dumped in the tackle and loses the ball. Nico drops the ball on play 1. Raiders have won it. Ethan Strange dominates Nico Hines. And the Sharks, without Braden Trindle, are just an absolute rabble. Ethan Strange. Dominant tackle there on Nico. Forces the mistake. He hasn't done a lot in attack tonight, Ethan Strange, but defensively, that was strong. 2 minutes left to play. And the Raiders just have to wind the clock down here. Hines goes for the one-on-one steal. Canberra have just handed Canberra haven't. The Sharks have just handed the Dolphins 4th place. And the Sharks will have to go the long way through the finals. Back-to-back losses against cellar dwellers for the Sharks. 10 short of halfway here, the Raiders. Tarpany will play it on 5th and last. Sanders from inside the 40 spirals it down the middle of the field for Katoa to take it on the 20. And Sione Katoa is met in the tackle 30 meters out from their own line. 1 minute left to play. They've got to go 70 meters upfield to either steal it or send us to Golden Point. Mulatalo offloads. Back for Wilton. Bends away from Laurie. Infield for Kennedy. 35 meters out. McInnes goes out the back for Hines. Hiroti for Nikora. And Nikora, once again, just never looks to pass the ball. Tackle 3 on halfway. Hines out to the left for Wilton. Wilton steps back up the middle. Still going Wilton. Offloads for Burns. And Burns is tackled. Play 4, 30 meters out. They should get an attacking kick away here, the Sharks, as McInnes sets it up on the 20-meter line. 5th and last. 20 meters out. 17 seconds to go. Hines is going to put it through the hands. Kennedy for Hiroti. Katoa. The pass goes in behind him and into touch. Hiroti just held the pass up too long. And the ball goes in behind Katoa into touch. And that's the game. The Raiders have won. So that, I think the top 4 is locked now. The Sharks, back-to-back losses against cellar dwellers, drop out of the top 4 officially. They could finish as low as 8th, the Sharks, still. They have really slumped at the wrong end of the year. The Dolphins are officially in 4th spot. And the Sharks are now 2 points behind the Dolphins with some catching up to do at the back end of the season if they want to finish in the top 4. There'll be a lot of talk about some of the refereeing in the game, the no try to Mulatalo especially, with 5 minutes left to go. The Mulatalo no try, probably the biggest of the talking points. We all saw the footage of him getting the ball to the line, but apparently we can see it on our TVs. But the multi-million-dollar bunker apparently doesn't have a high enough definition to be able to see the ball on the line. So 24 points to 20, the Raiders with the victory. And the Sharks, they've got to go the long way now. All right, Waste of Water Sports crew, we've got half an hour to the next game. I'm going to jump off and get ready for it. The bunker will say they get it wrong. Yeah, it'll come out. It'll come out on Monday, and they'll say, we got that one wrong, sorry, which is of great value to everybody, I'm sure. All right, Waste of Water Sports crew, doubleheader coming up next. Eels versus Cowboys, followed by Broncos, Warriors. I'll see you then. About half hour's time, that starts.
here for the jokes and teddy pants-less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the two and then we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we lay down our bets. No serious analysis, no expert critique, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. Sideline jokes and post-match tales, all the big goofs and epic fails. We're not so serious and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy! Ahoy! We're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Wasted world of sports, here's to more cheers. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.